Terrell with a bit of an advantage because she's had a whole game on this pair.
Well, when she's left the flat 10 pins, a lot of times you don't want to take anything off of a ball because you know you need it all.
Nikki very fortunate indeed to leave just the 6-pin on a shot that was on the schnoz from the time it left her hand. And you can see after leaving the bucket in the very first frame, she's had just tremendous difficulty in getting the ball and starting it right of her target. She just doesn't believe it's going to come back.
She's been very fortunate in breaking up the splits that she has had standing. She's only been shooting 9-pin spares, other than the 3, 6, 10 in the 5th frame.
And she stands up a little bit on the spare. Both players just trying to gut it out right now and capture the Garland Centennial Open, the final stop on the 1991 LPBT Winter Tour. We've already discussed the fact that the ladies will have a little time off and come back live on ESPN coming up at Alexandria, Louisiana. I mentioned the ladies, obviously the seniors. PBA Senior Tour will be on. Coming your way live on Thursday, March 14th, the AMF HPL Senior Open from Escondido, California. Better shot there. And that's the problem that's presented. You make what you feel is your best shot, and then you leave that doggone 10-pin.
Well, the lanes were stripped every night, Denny, and we have not been able to figure out really how they were able to get tighter and tighter each day. If they were stripped, the whole lane was stripped from the foul line to the pin deck, and apparently they're even tighter tonight than they were in the final rounds of match play yesterday. And yesterday they were very tight.
There you could see by the facial expressions and the verbalization, she knew she threw a good shot and she had to have a strike to get something started. Kim Terrell is on a strike in the 7th. Nikki G leads by 9, but that could change momentarily with a strike here on lane 36.
Really a must strike to get back in the match here for Kim Terrell to set it up in the 8th frame. She could take the lead by 1 pin.
Left all the way.
Looking for that break. Maybe the 6-pin hit the 10. Could have gone. I've seen a few of those go throughout the week, but like you said, left all the way. She really wanted, came around the ball pretty early.
Good news is she left just the 10-pin. Bad news is she's got to step up on that lane in the 10th frame. And she hasn't exactly struck at will on lane 36.
Well, Nikki gets to get up and finish the match on lane 35. Not only does Kim have to finish on 36, but if there's any amount of pressure on her, she finishes the match.
204 for Kim Terrell. 213. A possibility for Nikki Gianulias. That one's a little right of the mark, and the 2-4-5 left standing. So there you see it. We've talked about it all night long. You get it going just a touch right, it will not come back.
And Kim says, hey, you know, I let it out, and that's why I kind of keep pulling it on those other shots, because this is what happens when I think I throw a pretty good shot, get out of it pretty clean, good ball speed, and it just doesn't make it back.
Courageous effort that time. She was going right with it no matter what happened.
We have to trust it. But unfortunately, on this condition, it's not exactly working, right?
A spare up for Kim Terrell, so if she would strike out 191, Nikki Gianulias can finish things up here in the 9th and the 10th, asks for a re-rack, and gets one on the right-hand lane.
Kim Terrell losing to Leanne Barrett last year, 227 to 182. Just may end up finishing twice 2 years in a row.
Pretty good order there. Soldiers all in a row. She'd like to watch him disappear.
Well, she hasn't seen that since the second frame, but she's definitely been on for her spares.
Threw it right through the nose the last time on 36. Well, that one's right. And a wonderful shot. 7-pin remains. You don't know how good that shot was.
The Wallies really carried pretty good the rest of the week. I'm surprised that they're not carrying here tonight with the averages as high as they were, and what it took to make the top 24 here this week. You had to be able to carry these wall shots, and they're just not carrying here tonight. So obviously the lane's a lot tighter, not the back end reaction that we saw.
First order of business now, make the spare, and if she throws a strike on the first shot in the 10th frame and then counts 20, she will close Kim Terrell out 192 to 191. Spare is done, but there's still some work left in the 10th frame.
You can see the power and the speed that Nikki puts on it to shoot her spare. She comes flat behind the ball. Shot that 7-pin from about the middle of the lane to the left-hand side of it even.
A little extra work. Get that conditioner off the track. Ball is not exactly gripping and hooking, is it? When you send it to the right. Clean release. And a very bad break indeed. Back-to-back 10 pins on the left-hand lane. And there you see the slumped shoulders. Nikki G really threw a very fine shot there.
Pretty shot. She really ripped through it, too. It almost appears this is the first game that these pins may have had bold on them, other than we know a little bit better. But great shot. You know, they're just playing in such a deep angle, and they're just not getting that back end reaction.
Still the key ingredient. Get into the clubhouse with the highest possible score, which would be 191 if she strikes. Doesn't take a mathematician to realize that Kim would have to strike out to tie her then.
Almost missing this spare. A big sigh of relief and a big smile for Nikki as she says, "Oh, thank you."
That'll get your attention. Meanwhile, Kim's going, hook, 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 hook. No. Just kidding. These two players have just absolutely refused to wilt. Haven't exactly struck, but they have hung tough.
Well, Kim Terrell can go back to the second and third frame and see that she's chopped the 2-5 and the 6-10.
And as always in the sport of bowling, you always carry when it doesn't make that much difference. But in this case, it did. That was a key strike because she cannot lose.
That's right. That was a big strike right there. But what's going through Kim Terrell's mind right now? I haven't hit lane 36. I just really want to make some good shots. Maybe it'll be my turn.
It's going to have to be a Brooklyn. That's one. Owens and Joyce are going, Kim, excuse us, but we can't take this much longer.
Really turning that ball very early. I'm surprised it actually caught the head pin on the left. I think Kim is too. You know, that might just be what she needs to loosen up as well. This ball going away, Brooklyn. The 5-pin says, okay, I'll knock that 9 out.
2 more to tie. Brooklyn again. Not to be. And so for the second year in a row, Kim Terrell finishes just a little short. Apologizes, I'm sure, to Nikki G for throwing the Brooklyn, but there's your first multiple winner of 1991.